Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it is another day of Ragnarok because we are going to do something a little bit different today. And I'm going to start a long-term kind of a series. Depends on how long I can take this. Nothing too crazy. My name is Tyr, and I'm going to be going around and showing pretty much the updated locations for where you can get reagents. Which is why you're probably wondering, Tyr, why the f are you hanging out in Unicorn Way? Because this is the place where that has been my go-to for Mistwood, which also in turn gives you a small percentage chance to get Acorn. And you're probably wondering, what is this used for? Crafting things. What things? Honestly, there's so many recipes I couldn't tell you exactly, but either way, this is where I usually get my Mistwood, is Unicorn Way. There's some all around Wizard City and pretty much anywhere with grass and trees. Because that's the thing, if you're looking for Mistwood, go really anywhere where you can get grass and trees. You're not really going to find Mistwood on dirt or on, like, sidewalk. It's pretty much all going to be on grass. Also, you get some flax here, too, which I have yet to use. Oh, and there we go, I just got 2 in an acorn. Look at that. So when it comes to my Unicorn Way route, I normally go from the commons area all the way to where I was just standing, but I did do a route, so literally what I do is I literally just walk the whole street, like so, and I'll grab any wooden chest that I happen to see for a little bit of extra gold. It's not a lot, it's like 5, 10, 14, you know. It ranges between 5 to about 15, I've noticed, when it comes to wooden chests. But either way, ooh, frosted flex. But either way, when it comes to this route, this is mostly for Mistwood. Flax you can get just about anywhere in Wizard City easy. Obviously, we're just going to keep this trail going. Anywhere with grass, anywhere with trees. You want to check every single corner if possible, actually, because you never know, especially if you don't know the exact spawn areas. Obviously, you're not really going to see Mistwood here on the sidewalk and on the road because there's no grass and there isn't really any trees right here. So you can pretty much ignore anywhere that doesn't have grass. There's going to be here. Here's some extra flax. Now we're here for Mistwood and Acorn. The flax is just about us. As you can see, there's another Mistwood right over here. Bada boom. There's a chest. We're going to grab that for some gold. And again, it's not a ton of gold, but it never hurts to pick it up because if you're doing this route for an hour and you pick up like 1,000 chests, it's a little bit of extra gold. Like if you're getting a few thousand gold per hour this way, it's nothing like half fang or zero energy fishing, anything like that. But if you're like a level 5 who doesn't have access to any of that yet, this can be a short-term way as a low level to get you started. Keep going on the grass here. Look at all the grass. There's a little bit of cattail here too, but honestly, the best location for cattail is not in Wizard City at all. That we are going to go. That's not even one of the reagent ones. What the hell am I doing? But no, the actual cattail location, I'll tell you all about it in a different video. But for now, we're just going to keep this going. We're going to look at all the grass even further, pretty much in every single corner, every single little hiding hole possible. And it looks like, unless there's one about here. Oh, hey, cattail. Let me just grab that real quick. And unless there's anything over here in this section, that is about everything. Which there's some flax there. Now, apparently, this is not the place where people go for flax. Apparently, that's in Nightside. I'll have to test that. Maybe it's the next video. We'll see. Double check these areas one more time. Got some flax over here. Take that. And then when you do your full route, literally, you just do what you normally would and switch realms. What I recommend is instead of going from top to bottom on realms, I recommend going from bottom to top. And the reason why is because you're more likely to find stuff if you go from bottom to top in alphabetical, because a lot more of the obscure, less played realms are in that order. Like if you start at Ambrose, you're not going to find hardly very much. You might get lucky here and there, but you won't find as much at Ambrose because that's such a high demand realm. People are always on it that it's going to be much harder to find stuff. It is possible, but it's much more difficult. Like I can tell you from experience. So I recommend starting at Woo and working your way backwards. Because realms like Vampire, Unicorn, Troll, Torrent, Sunbird, you name it, literally, those realms almost don't see any playtime at all. So the chances of spawns being in those realms is close to guaranteed. The only way they wouldn't be is if somebody else is already doing the same thing as you, in which the chances of that are not super high. Especially for reagents, there's not a lot of people nowadays. Back in the day there was, but not a lot now, who do crafting like that. There might be some but it's not like it was. Because back then, when people wanted things and they didn't have them, they were gonna be sought after. But now there's a lot of people who have what they want, from just grinding over the years, all that stuff. So right now, reagents are very much impossible to find in a bazaar. You might find like the regular gemstones, like the rubies and the sapphires. Otherwise, you're not even really finding mistwood anymore. And that comes down to the combination of the demand is low, and on top of that, whatever little demand there is being snatched by scripters. Which, let me tell you, scripters are some of the most annoying things in any game. Not just Wiz, but any game. Because it can literally drain the economy. Like, it is milking the supply dry. And because of that, that's what makes it significantly harder to make your crafting actually happen. Not that it's impossible, because it's not. It just takes a lot longer, and it takes a lot more of your attention. In which nowadays, getting attention is very, very difficult. Giving attention is something that a lot of people just aren't as willing to do. Like, I can't tell if this guy's AFK or if that's one of the taxis. No, they're just AFK. They're not marked as friendly. If you ever see someone AFK, but they have like the friendly smiley thing on their name, chances are they might be one of the taxis. Because there are taxi players who just let people port. We just skimmed through the whole vampire realm. Now we're going to do that one more time, except this time I'm going to go backwards, like I started originally. Now there's always a chance that we could go completely zero during one of these routes. But that's really what I do, is I just go from one side of the street to the other, switch realm, and then go back to the other side and just kind of cross that way. And in doing so, that is pretty much how we get ourselves our reagents. Not just in this case mistwood with a small chance of acorn, but really this is how you would do it with any reagent that you're looking for. You just have to know the right location for the right reagent. And what I'm doing here is pretty much the same thing that most routes will have you go. Because most routes will literally have you go like end to end, and then switch realms and then go back end to end. There's some that you could just kind of run around in the same realm for an hour straight and they'll just keep spawning, but there's not a lot of those. Matter of fact, one of the next few videos that I'm gonna make is something like that. There's a parchment farm like that. And whenever you see that, you'll probably end up thanking me for it, because parchment is actually pretty critical. Why? Because of certain recipes and cantrips, actually. That's actually why this series is being made, because a lot of people know about cantrips. They want to use cantrips, not just for utility, but for like raiding, advanced combat, stuff like that, because there's certain things that are straight banned in advanced combat. So a lot of people will, like a lot of cantrip guys will tell you, hey, you need to make this card this many times, or use this card this many times, and you have to craft the TCs. However, there isn't a lot of guides on how to get the reagents to make those TCs. So that's where I come in. I'm going to try and provide these reagent guides, these updated ones. Not that the other ones were bad, because honestly, no, they're not. Some of the other ones from like way back in the day, absolutely fantastic from some very talented creators. But obviously things can change over time. Spots can be buffed or nerfed or changed, anything like that. This is just me kind of giving something more up to date, if you know what I mean. So that's pretty much where I come in. And it looks like we got everything in this route. So yeah, so that's how you get all that mistwood. You just do a route like that for an hour, you'll be good. And as of now, as you could tell, it is not double reagent and crafting as of recording this. But trust me, whenever it does become double reagent, you'll probably be looking for a video like this one. So hopefully if you don't find this right away, hopefully you find this maybe in a month or two, whenever it does go to like double reagent and unlimited crafting, when the member benefit is active. Or if you happen to be like me and have stockpiled several years of freaking codes, if you happen to have used any, like here's this crafting benefit here. I got this because of like past KI live codes and stuff like that. I've just stockpiled all these. So if you're someone that's active in the game, make sure you stock up on codes, even if it's stuff you don't need right now, because you never know. So that's my last little quick tip, is always find a way to get a hold of member benefit elixirs, whether it's KI live codes, certain events, anything like that, and just stockpile. Even if you don't need them right now, just gather them, because trust me, you will need it later. Like there's even a possibility that depending on what the future member benefits are in the next coming weeks, that I might end up having to pop that elixir that you saw. But that is going to be everything, at least for this video. That was Mistwood and Acorn, and my recommended location to get it. Not only because it's universal, anyone can get to here. Literally, this is the very first zone in the game. You come here at level 2, level 1 even. So literally anybody and everybody has access to this place. Members, non-members, max levels, and level 1s alike. So yeah, and also whenever you go to do your crafting quests, the crafting person does ask you for Mistwood, and last I checked, I don't think buying it in the bazaar counts for the quest. I think you have to harvest it. So there you go. Now you know the route that I take. But that will be everything for this video. Hopefully that wasn't too long and too annoying for y'all, and we're gonna keep this series going for as long as the wheels can stay on. So that will be it for now, and I will see you in the next video. My name is Tier, and I hope you have a fantastic night.